Welcome to the haul, y'all. The first book I'm going to share with you is this Patrick Rothfuss book, The Slow Regard of Silent Things. This is just a side story for one of the characters, and this was gifted to me by Rob. So Rob, thank you very much. So now I have both of the King Killer books and the two supplemental, like, extra stories of some character books. And that third book is probably never going to come out. But at least he's giving us something, right? Give him a little credit. I feel like that's why he released the book about Bast, is due to the fact that, like, he's trying to get people off of his back. But it's like, as nice as these little supplemental books are, just give us the last book in the King Killer Chronicles, please. Just do that, Rothfuss. I mean, please. I also came across this. There is a genre that is currently popular over the last 5 years of, like, a group of queen sisters that have to fight for or save their throne in these dark fantasy worlds, and I am a sucker for them. Mostly because a lot of them I have read have been really good, so I am hoping the same for this. This is Hannah Witten's For the Throne, so that is why I picked that up. I am also managed to come across a dish, which was nice, and not a dish that you hold things in, but a dish that you hold ideas with. Look at that, that was almost clever. This is Camp Concentration. This is actually the only dish that I've come across, I think, at all in the last year or so. So I am excited to have one to add to the TBR. I think I might move that up, although it just depends on if the weather is nice outside or not, because I'm definitely not going to read something like that unless it is sunny outside, because I have enough issues with depression as it is. So there we go. Speaking of, I also managed to come across The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I believe this is one of the ones that Moyd reviewed in one of his moody docudrama style videos, and it perked my interest enough to want to read it. It also looks super short. Like, it looks thick and impressive, or at least normal here, but when I actually open the book, it looks like it should be a much smaller book to me personally, so that'll probably be a quick read, but again, also only when it's sunny outside. This, I thought about, so this is somebody has, like, you know, if you're gonna, like, mark up a book and make notes, please do it like this. This is somebody who previously owned this book that put those little, like, clear post-it notes in there at pertinent points, so that way me as the next owner can just remove those and then not have to worry about it again. But this is The Book Collector by Alice Thompson. The premise sounds amazing. I am, as we have seen on this channel and in the background, I am a definite book collector, so that piqued my interest. I do know, Rob, if you are watching this video, I did get a notification that I got another book in my box, and I did check to see who may have gifted that, and it was you, so I will be picking that up hopefully next week. I read The Book Thief before it became a movie, not to be one of those girls who are like, I read it before it was popular, blah, 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 blah. But I really loved The Book Thief. I thought it was another one of those, like, beautiful pieces of literature that also was just heartbreakingly sad. And I have been hoping to read more from Markus Zusak, and so this is Bridge of Clay, and I managed to score a signed copy of this, which is interesting. It does have this big Reach sticker on the back that I will have to figure out how to get off, but don't worry about that. This is the signature. It is just what looks like two mountains in a line, but, you know, if you have to sign literally thousands of copies to fulfill these orders. Oh, I do have I Am the Messenger. I also have I Am the Messenger, so I guess this is the third book he's ever written? I have I Am the Messenger, but I haven't read that yet. Again, my TBR is too thick, and also Markus Zusak does not write short books at all. So maybe I should read I Am the Messenger first. I should probably do that. But now I have all 3 of the books he's written, so that's great. Editing Bob here. Markus Zusak does have a trilogy before the 3 books I mentioned, the Underdogs trilogy, that came out before I Am Messenger and The Book Thief.
The Book of Clay is actually his most recent work, and I also got to find out he's an Australian writer. So Ryan, if you haven't read any of his books yet, as an Aussie, you should. So don't have them all, but once I find that trilogy, I will.
I also picked up this. I actually got this out of a little free library. Don't worry, I put something else in there as compensation. As a bookseller, I have plenty of extra copies of other books that I can like put something in there to replace this. This is, I think, considered YA. It is Cat Winters, and it is The Steep and Thorny Way. This is supposed to be a 1920s retelling of Hamlet, but in the South with people of color, and that sounded amazing to me. That sounded absolutely amazing to me, so I definitely picked that up. And also I picked up this as well, and this is another, one of my goals this year was to read one nonfiction book a month. So far I'm only one of 12, so I have 11 more to go through. But this is The Cooking Gene by Michael Twitty, and this is just about African American cooking in the South, a history of that from the Old South. And after reading more about Michael Twitty, I am very interested to read this as well. Also, as someone who grew up in the South and favorite food is biscuits and gravy, I figured I would probably enjoy this book. So all the ones that you just saw were pre-loved, except for, of course, the one that was gifted to me by Rob. But I also managed to score a bunch of brand new science fiction Masterwork books. Now, I don't come across the science fiction Masterworks very often because of the fact that they are a UK printing and I live here in the States. And the last time I came across a bunch of them, a lot of them were new. It was when that bookstore went out of business, and I bought almost all of their stock. And I sold most of those on Whatnot, but this time when I encountered them, I was able to find a bunch of copies where I could have multiple copies of, or I could purchase multiple copies of the same book. So that way I could keep plenty of them and not feel bad about selling them, or not have the guilt about selling them. Those of us that are book lovers as well as book sellers have to have that internal fight all the time of to keep it or to sell it, and this time I don't have to. So I'm going to show you the ones that are going to be up for sale. They are going to go up for sale on Whatnot this Sunday, March 3rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 a.m. Pacific. There are already pre-bids on it because a lot of these are books that are actually kind of hard to find, not only because of the fact that they are the science fiction Masterworks and I live in the States, but also because of the authors are ones that people have a tendency to hold on to, in addition to the fact that the Strugatsky brothers are having kind of a renaissance here on BookTube, especially here on the science fiction part of BookTube. So let me go ahead and show you. This first one is Christopher Priest, Inverted World. And this is one that I know my friend Matt highly reviewed. This is Ursula K. Le Guin, Worlds of Exile and Illusion. I do believe this is all of the Hainish novels into one book. I think that's correct, yes. So it is Rocannon's World, Planet of Exile, and City of Illusions. So there is that. The Stars Are My Destination by Alfred Bester. Exciting. Rendezvous with Rama. The reason why you didn't see that on my shelf is because I actually have one gifted to me from Matt, a vintage copy. That was the one he read before he started on his international travels. So I am letting this one go. And then all of the Strugatsky books. Arkady and Boris Strugatsky. The first one is The Inhabited Island. And again, these are all brand new. Hard to Be a God, which is another one that Matt reviewed highly. The Snail on the Slope. Monday Starts on Saturday. And the absolute darling of BookTube the last few months, Roadside Picnic. So I am very excited because I honestly have been on the lookout for any books by the Strugatsky brothers probably for a year, and I have not been able to find any. And then to find all of those in one sitting and to find multiples to where I could keep some and then also share has, again, 2024 has been really good to me as far as books goes. So I'm really, really happy about that. I also found Joanna Russ. So The Female Man by Joanna Russ. I have a vintage copy of this when I did that big book haul. This is one of the ones that I was told multiple times to keep, so I did, but I'm going to let these go because I have the very vintage copy. And then the rest of these are Dicks because I have literally never come across a Dick in a Wild to purchase. That is some phrasing. We're gonna move on from that. All right, we have Dr. Blood Money. The Penultimate Truth, The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch, Martian Time Slip, which is probably one of the only one I've actually really heard of, A Maze of Death, Malice, and Time Out of Joint. So now I actually have some, which is great because, as I mentioned, like I've been able to find Dish now in the wild. I've been able to find C.M. Kornbluth. I've been able to find Blish. And now I've been able to find the Strugatsky brothers and Dick, but this is literally the first time I found both Philip K. Dick and the Strugatsky brothers out in the wild. And again, all of the ones I just showed you, the SF Masterworks, will be up for sale. And if it goes well, if the Whatnot sale goes well, then I maybe will be able to buy another load of brand new SF Masterworks with which to keep and to share. But I wanted to see how this would do because normally my cost of goods is a lot lower when I do these Whatnot shows. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm really excited. One, because now I have a bunch of, like, these just look good on a shelf. Not to mention they just feel nice. They're just really nice trade paperback copies. Some of the artwork on the front isn't as good as some of the vintage artwork. Some of it is amazing. It just depends on the book. But I'm really excited to, one, have some more Dicks on my shelf, and two, to finally have a copy of Roadside Picnic in addition to a bunch of other ones as well. But hopefully I'll see you Sunday, and if not, thank you for watching, and until the next time, bye!